Hey y'all. Um, I got another word, y'all. I'm back and I'm better. Anyway, hopefully I won't be on here too long. I just been getting a lot of downloaded information, okay? It's some of the stuff that I've been receiving. I've kind of already been receiving it in bits and pieces and whatnot and what have you. But, like, y'all, shit is. First of all, I just want to say God is so good because the thing like about prophecy, like it comes in different seasons and downloads come in different like spaces. That's why I be telling y'all like when you get information, unless God is saying like put it out there, sometimes you gotta hold it down because you gotta make sure you got the full picture of the message. I don't know if I said that on here or on YouTube. I don't know. I be making videos. I be making so many videos. Like I can't stop talking. But it's all information. It's all factual information. But that's neither here nor there, y'all. I want to talk about ACEs, adverse childhood experiences. And a while ago, like I want to say during the summer, maybe it was the summertime, I don't know. But a while ago, I was making videos. I made a video. I made two videos. I made the honor your mother and your father video, and that kind of started us on that journey of talking about having balanced healing. And then I made another video that talked about having a focal point. And all of this started because if for some of y'all who do know, some of y'all who don't know, I'm in school, so I'm obtaining my master's. I'll be done in December. Turn up anyway, but I have been writing papers on adverse childhood experiences. Like I've really been writing papers about ACEs and what that looks like and what that means and how do we as a collective go about redirecting that energy. How do we reconstruct it? And then it dawned on me as I'm sitting here, y'all, and I'm just making some waste beads, minding my little business, and all I keep hearing in my head is generational curses, generational curses, generational curses, generational curses. So I keep hearing this over and over and over again. I keep hearing God speaking to me about breaking generational curses. And then it dawns on me, light bulb, ding, okay, so that's what the conversation about ACEs that God has been giving me has been about. Like I'm not trying to act like I'm the only person that knows this. Like I'm not like at all. But I just wanted to share with y'all so maybe we can have a conversation about it, or maybe I could shine light on it for somebody else. Like, okay, there is like a serious need and a mission for a lot of people to break generational curses. And it's really deep, y'all. Like and when I say like it's really deep, like it's really deep. It's not just we want to heal trauma, like we do want to heal trauma, but we have to think about the psyche at which trauma is really like founded and where trauma begins. And it begins like way back. Like my professor, she talks about that 400 years that we've spent in this, I'll call it an incubator called America, and how being in this incubator has really affected us. And I can only speak for me because I'm an African American woman, but how it has affected the African American DNA. We could just call it our DNA as a whole. And so when God was telling me, like talking about generational curses, I was like, okay, so people are really in the process. And if you're not in the process, you need to begin to get in the process of looking at where your generational curses lie. And it's so many different things. For some of us, it's relationships with men. For some of us, it's the relationship that we have with our mother. For some men, it's the relationship that they have with their father. For some fathers, it's how they speak to their children. For some mothers, it's the fact that they didn't give their children affection. There's so many different pieces, y'all know I love talking about that damn onion, to that onion that we have to begin to pull back and talk about those layers, because they're really it's really deeper than rap, y'all. Like I cannot make this up. And Just a while ago, y'all seen that I posted that other video where I was talking about the destruction of the family. And so if you think about, if you put those together, I don't know if y'all follow, I'm a connect the dot type of person. So I connect a lot of dots. That's something that I've always been like that. That's why I peep so much shit. I'll say that because I connect dots all the time. But if you pay attention and you connect the dots a little bit, you'll begin to see like this connection between ACEs, which is adverse childhood experiences, generational trauma, and then the destruction of the family. And so all of this stuff began, whether you want to, whatever, this is my opinion, all of this stuff began during the slavery era, where like the trauma was just being cultivated and just pressed and rooted, deeply rooted in our DNA. And so I actually did a reading about this on YouTube or wherever, I don't know, but I did a reading about it, and I was talking about the process that we have to begin to do to reconstruct our DNA. And it's not just my Nana, she has something in her book about what you eat, being mindful of what you eat. And in the Bible, it says that a lot about being mindful of what you eat. I did that video on discernment when I was talking about the meat versus the fat. If you haven't watched that video, go back and look at that, because that's what I was talking about. But it talks about that, being mindful of what you eat. And I think it's important that we begin to be really, really mindful wherever you are on your journey, let's take a step back and really be mindful about not only what we eat, but what are you feeding your children. And I mean that in a metaphorical sense. Like, I'm not talking about, oh, do you feed your children plant-based? Do you feed your children McDonald's? Like, I'm not talking about that shit. That's three-dimensional to me. I'm talking about spiritually. What are y'all feeding to your children, or what have you been feeding to your children? Because if you think about it, in order for us to begin to break generational curses, in order for us to begin to change cycles, in order for us to begin to heal the trauma, it has to start. My mom always said charity starts at home. Like, you have to begin to evaluate your home environment. A lot of my friends have kids. I don't have kids right now. I know when the time is right, I will. But when you look at the relationship, I can tell, not just my friends, but just people. I was in the classroom. People have different relationships with their children, and it's important for everyone to look at the relationships that they are developing with their children, because those are the things that develop the adverse childhood experiences, which turns into the trauma, which turns into the trust issues as an adult, which turns into the narcissistic men, which turns into the girls who feel like fuck a nigga, get some money. And that's not the psyche that we're supposed to have. And so, y'all, I'm saying all this to say, like, breaking generational curses and breaking generational trauma is deeper than just saying, fuck it. It's deeper than just saying that, oh, I'm spiritual now and I'm connected to my ancestors. It's deeper than that. Because while you're connected to your ancestors, all that's good and well, but I just watched a video, I think that was Iyanla. My sis sent me that video about Iyanla talking about that, about her talking about the importance of, reaching back to the elders. So if you're honoring your ancestors and you're honoring the elders, you have to think about the morale and the ethics that these people had. Some of it wasn't healthy, but some of it really was, and a lot of us have lost connection to that. A lot of us have lost how to treat family members, how to treat children. Y'all, I promise you, I worked in the school. I saw teachers yelling at kids about shit that had nothing to do with them. How are you mad at somebody that's 7 years old? How you got an attitude with a 7-year-old? It's deeper than that. It's deeper than that, and we have to begin to realize that if we are on the journey of transforming, because if you following me, baby, we transforming out this period. Like, this is not half-ass healing. Shout out to the ghetto nun. My sis said ICDC magic. This is not that, okay? Like, we really over here, like, really taking a microscope at some shit right now. And it's imperative that as a collective, we take a microscopic look at the family unit. Because there's a lot of things that are causing distractions and divisions in the family unit. And look at what's going on right now. I just saw CNN send a damn notification like, oh, is family gatherings for Thanksgiving gonna enhance the spread of COVID? Like, chill out. Like, y'all been attacking families all year. It's folks that ain't seen their family all year. Birthdays didn't come together. Wedding celebrations didn't come together. It's something going on behind the scenes, y'all. So I'm just telling you, it ain't what it seems. Y'all need to focus on healing and in dealing with y'all family, healing and dealing and feeling with y'all children, like adverse childhood experiences. If you have not looked that up, I put the TED Talk that I put the clip to the TED Talk that I posted on my page. Go to my story, click on it, and look at the clip so you can see kind of what I'm talking about, because it's a topic that needs to be discussed, because a lot of people are talking about healing and connected to their ancestors. Baby, it's let the dead bury the dead. Y'all have to worry about and figure out how we're going to heal and connect with the next generation. Because that's what it's about. Like, it's about the next generation. If you want to break a curse in your family, yes, sure enough, you got to heal that relationship with your mama, but you got to make sure that the relationship with you and your children is straight, so that shit doesn't repeat. You got to make sure you're not saying the same things and doing the same things that your parents did. You got to make sure that you're talking to your children. How do you feel, baby? How do you feel? Because if not, the same trust issues that you got, the same brokenheartedness that you got, the same looking for love ass syndromes that you got is the same shit that your kids are going to repeat. Y'all, I cannot make this up. And adversities is not just in the trust department. Y'all, I promise you, I'm tired of reading about it, but it's so educational. It's important that I thank God that he guided me to that path for me to be able to understand what it really means to heal and reconstruct DNA. Like, that really means that you're really in the business of transforming and transmuting and becoming the alchemist of your life. That's really what it means, and we have to do that, and it starts with children. If you have children, that's where you need to start. You have to start developing and cultivating the relationship with your family unit, because it's so much trying to tear it away. Y'all see how it's going. Come on now. A mama have a baby. She got to be at work. 6 weeks later, the baby goes off to daycare and has to be raised by a stranger. That automatically, I learned that in child psychology. That automatically interferes with the connection that a mother and a child have. If a child is already separated from the mother, the first 7 years of a child's life are detrimental to their development. So if you separate those two, how are you developing this child holistically? Okay, let's just think about it. Okay. But yeah, y'all, God would not. I wasn't even gonna make no more videos until next week, because I felt like, dang, I just keep talking. Like, I keep making videos. But obedience is better than sacrifice. So I'm gonna continue to say what I need to say. And I don't care if don't nobody listen. Y'all, I put it out here. So when the time is right, somebody gonna get it. God's timing and my timing are not the same. And I'm perfectly okay with that. I was like, Lord, I don't want to put this video out. I'm tired of talking. God was like, no, you need to talk about generational curses and generational healing and ACEs and trauma, because y'all, it is real out here. Reevaluate how you all are connected to y'all children. I'm telling you, if you grew up in a household where you know that maybe you and your mama didn't have the best relationship, maybe finances weren't okay, but let me tell y'all something about being in the low income environment, because per the research, being in a low income environment actually creates the highest percentage of ACEs in children. Children who are raised in low income environments and poverty experience the highest level of ACEs. So if you see those two correlations, okay, yes, The poverty is there. We understand that. But the poverty cannot, the finances and living in a low income environment cannot overshadow the connection that you still need to develop with your children. Money and the connection that you have with your children are two different things. So a lot of parents have to realize that just because the finances aren't where you want them to be, or for the worldly things that seem to be important, but they're really not. There's a lot of people who have to develop the relationship and reconstruct the relationship that they're having with their children, because it's the relationship that the children are going to remember. It's relationships that pass down. And that's where, if you look at it, that's where a lot of us are fucked up now, because the relationships that we developed early on with our mom, with our dad, with our closest family members are now the same type of relationships that we develop in outward, and they're out of control. That's why you got people arguing for no reason, people being disrespectful, people triggered because somebody said something that they don't like. Like, who the fuck cares if you didn't like it? Like, that person is entitled to that. But if you don't check that shit at home, that's what it spills out to. Y'all, it's so much. Watch the TED Talk on ACEs, Adverse Childhood Experiences. Parents, please look at the relationship that you are developing with your child. It is not, my mama always say, provision is not just financial. Make sure that you are connecting with your children on a soul level, because on the spiritual level, your children need you. I just want to thank God again, because he always gives me something, and I don't know, sometimes I don't necessarily know which way he's going with it or how he's doing it, but he always gives it to me. And even when I was using tarot cards, I still never forgot who God was, and he was still giving me messages that needed to be delivered to his children, because he knew my heart. Parents, there are some children that are going to be born into this world that are going to be highly vibrational children, highly sensitive children, and your job is going to be to cultivate those children so that way they could be the best that they could possibly be. And that is where the generational curses will begin to break. If you notice that your child is, I'm hearing that song, You a Reflection of Me, Shawty. So that's Moneybag, Your Reflection. But if you notice your child is an exact reflection of you, that right there is your divine sign that it is time. This is the opportunity right here, right now, to break this generational curse. And you got to be man enough and woman enough to take on, to take on that challenge. I'm telling you. Do it for your great-grandchildren. If you don't do it for yourself, because even in the Bible, I believe it was Abraham. Yeah, because we're children of Abraham. Abraham didn't get to see the promises. He didn't get to see the promises. But the generations after him got to see the promises that God had gave to him. So don't just do it just for you. You know what I'm saying? Do it for your great-grandchildren. So that way, whatever happened, y'all know I used to say this all the time when I first did my videos. We are healing for 7 generations forward and 7 generations backwards. So that means we still got to honor your ancestors. We know we let the dead bury the dead. You still pay homage. But baby, your ancestors was honoring God. So don't ever forget that. But yes, we want to heal that lineage, but the lineage is really 7 generations forward. What are you doing for your future generations? How are you breaking the curses, y'all? How are you breaking generational curses? If you don't know, baby, you better get into it, because God is moving. And he is about to, he's changing a lot of things for a lot of his children. And he wants us to know love in the household, in the relationships amongst one another, with our friends. He wants us to know love. And like I said, charity starts at home. So you gotta begin to cultivate that in the home environment, y'all. Okay, I'm done for real. Hopefully that wasn't too long, but I feel better that I have made this video, because I was like, I couldn't get it together until I made the video. Yeah, y'all know obedience is better than sacrifice. So whoever this message is for, I pray that it gets where you need it to get. I pray that it does. I pray that God does what he needs to do in your life, in your family, in your home. And yeah, as always, I love y'all for free. Like really for free. Anyway, peace.